Welcome to another episode of Focus Fuel. I'm James, and right here with me is my co-host Jessica, and together it's time to fuel your focus.
You know that feeling, end of the day, you look back, and the one big thing you really needed to get done just didn't happen.
Oh, absolutely. It's like sand
Yeah.
through your fingers, right?
Right.
The hours just vanish.
Exactly. You meant to finish that report or start that project.
But somehow you got sucked into email or, I don't know, doom scrolling or just bouncing between a million little things. Busy, but no real progress. It's super frustrating.
It really is. I used to feel like that all the time, just reacting, feeling drained, and kind of guilty, too, about what wasn't finished. That's actually why I was so interested when you brought up this idea of time blocking. It seemed like a way to finally get a handle on things.
Well, welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into time blocking. It's more than just a scheduling hack. It's a different way to approach your day so you actually know what you accomplished.
Right. So our mission today is to unpack how you can intentionally carve out that time, make it work for you.
Let's get into it. So what is time blocking at its core?
It's basically ditching that overwhelming, free-floating to-do list where everything feels urgent. Instead, you assign fixed time slots, blocks, to specific tasks or even types of tasks.
Yeah, you literally say, okay, for the next, say, 90 minutes, I am doing this, writing this proposal. And you put it on your calendar.
Like a real appointment.
Exactly. An appointment with your priorities. And what's fascinating, and what we'll explore, is that this isn't just about organizing your time. It taps into some powerful psychological triggers.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's dive into that psychology. Why does just putting something in a box on a calendar actually work so well?
Well, first up, there's something called Parkinson's Law. Ever heard of it?
Vaguely. Remind me.
It's the idea that work expands to fill the time you give it. So if you have like all day to write 500 words.
It'll probably take all day, lots of coffee breaks, check-in things.
Precisely. But if you time block just say 60 minutes for those 500 words, your brain kicks into high gear. That constraint creates focus. It's like a mini deadline forcing you to be efficient.
Okay, makes sense. Creating urgency. What else?
Then there's this concept of attention residue. Think about switching tasks, constantly email notification pops up, you look, then try to get back to your report.
Yes. It takes a minute to get your head back into it. Feels like part of your brain is still thinking about the email.
That's exactly it. That lingering thought is attention residue. It drags down your performance on the new task. Time blocking helps massively here by encouraging you to batch similar things.
So like do all your emails at once in a dedicated block.
Exactly. Handle all the emails or all the quick calls or all the admin stuff together. You finish one type of task, clear that mental space, and then move cleanly to the next block, maybe your deep work, without that residue slowing you down.
That sounds way more efficient. Okay, what else is going on psychologically?
Decision fatigue. We don't realize how many tiny decisions we make all day. What should I work on now? Is this urgent? Should I check that notification?
Yeah, it's constant, even if subconscious.
And each one drains a tiny bit of mental energy. With time blocking, the big decisions about what to do when are already made. You just look at your calendar, 10 a.m., Project X block, you follow the plan. It saves that precious mental energy for the actual work.
Right, you're not burning energy, just figuring out the next step. And you mentioned one more.
Yeah, motivation momentum. This is a really positive one. When you finish a block, you actually did the thing you scheduled. Your brain gets a little hit of dopamine.
Like a mini win. Check. Done that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Small success. And that little win fuels you. It makes you feel capable and more motivated to roll right into the next block, even if it's a tough one you scheduled for your peak energy time. It builds positive momentum through the day.
Okay, the psychology is compelling. It's tapping into Parkinson's law, fighting attention residue, reducing decision fatigue, and building motivation. So, let's get practical. How do you actually build a time-blocked schedule? What are the steps?
All right, step one is crucial. Identify your core tasks. What are the, say, 3 to 5 things that really matter today or this week? The big stuff, not just the busy work.
So for me, maybe drafting the script outline. For a manager, maybe prepping for that big team meeting.
Exactly. The high-impact activities. Nail those down first.
Okay, got my core tasks. Step 2.
Estimate realistic durations. And be honest. Not how long you wish it took, but how long it likely will take if you're truly focused. And definitely add a buffer.
A buffer, like extra time.
Yeah, maybe 10, 15 minutes, especially for bigger blocks. because, interruptions happen, things take slightly longer. A buffer stops one overrun from wrecking the whole day's plan.
Smart. Prevents the domino effect. Okay, step 3.
Group similar tasks together, batching. We talked about this with attention residue. Put all your email checking, your quick calls, your expense reports, whatever, into dedicated blocks. Keep them separate from your deep work.
Protect the focus time. Makes sense. What's next?
Step 4. Account for your energy peaks and troughs. This is key. When are you naturally most alert and focused? For lots of people, it's mid-morning.
Yeah, definitely not right after lunch for me.
Right. So schedule your hardest, most creative or analytical work for your peak times. Save the easier, less demanding stuff, like batching admin, for when your energy naturally dips. Work with your body's rhythm, not against it.
Okay, aligning tasks with energy. Step 5.
Schedule breaks and buffer zones. Non-negotiable. Seriously. Trying to go full throttle all day leads straight to burnout. Block in short breaks, 5-10 minutes after focus sessions. Stand up, stretch, grab water, and like we said, buffers between blocks.
So breaks within the schedule, not just hoping you'll take them.
Absolutely. Plan them in. And finally, step 6, create a visual calendar. Use whatever tool works for you. Google Calendar, Outlook, even a paper planner. Seeing the blocks laid out visually makes it concrete.
And you mentioned color coding.
Yeah, that could be really helpful. Maybe blue for deep work, green for meetings, orange for admin. You can see at a glance where your time is really going.
Okay, let's paint a picture. What might a fully time-blocked day look like based on these steps?
All right, imagine this. You start with, say, a 90-minute deep work block, maybe drafting that project proposal.
Focused, no distractions. There.
A scheduled 5-minute mini break, stretch, and hydrate.
Okay.
Just step away.
Okay.
Then maybe a 45-minute block for batch emails and quick calls. Get it all done.
Cleared out. Nice.
Next, perhaps another focused block. Strategic planning outline, next quarter goals, say 60 minutes.
High-level thinking time.
Then a proper lunch and short walk block. Get away from the desk. Maybe 45 minutes to an hour.
Crucial. Then the afternoon.
Could start with administrative tasks, review invoices, approve expenses, maybe 30 minutes. Less intense work.
Right, fitting the energy dip.
Then, perhaps, a creative time block, brainstorm new campaign ideas, maybe 60 minutes.
Keeping some creative juice flowing.
Followed by another short break, maybe 10 minutes for meditation or mindful breathing. Reset.
I got you.
Maybe a learning block next take. Read industry research for 30 minutes, investing in growth.
And to finish.
A wrap-up block, maybe 15-20 minutes. Review completed items, check your blocks, and quickly plan tomorrow's blocks.
Wow, okay. Seeing it laid out like that,
Yeah.
There are no empty slots for random stuff to creep in. Every minute has a purpose.
That's the power. The structure itself becomes your defense against distraction. But look, it's not always smooth sailing, especially at first. There are common pitfalls.
Yes, the reality check.
Yeah.
What trips people up?
Pitfall number 1, overscheduling without realism. Packing every single minute, back to back, no breathing room. It creates immense pressure. And when one thing goes slightly wrong,
The whole structure collapses and you just give up.
exactly, you need those breaks and buffers we talked about. They have to be non-negotiable. Build in white space.
Okay, be realistic, build in buffers. What's pitfall 2?
Failing to adjust midday. Life happens, right? An urgent meeting pops up. A task takes way longer than expected. Some people think, oh, well, the plan's ruined, and just abandon it.
Yeah, I can see that happening. So what's the alternative?
Flexibility within the structure. Don't ditch the whole day. Look at your blocks. Can you shift something less critical? Can you shorten a later block slightly? Can you use a buffer? Adapt, don't abdicate.
Structure, but not rigidity. Got it. And the third pitfall?
Ignoring your energy fluctuations. We touched on this, but it's worth repeating. If you consistently schedule your hardest task for 3 p.m. and you know you're sleepy, then you're setting yourself up to fail.
So really pay attention for a week or so. Track when you feel sharp, when you drag.
Exactly. Track it, learn your rhythm, and then build your schedule to align with it. Put your deep work in your prime time.
Okay. Avoid overscheduling. Be flexible and work with your energy. So once you've got the basics down, are there ways to level up your time blocking? Advanced tips?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We can talk about a few power moves. Tip 1, theme your days.
Theme your days. What do you mean?
Instead of every day being a mix of everything, assign a theme. Monday is strategy and planning day. Tuesday is content creation day. Wednesday is client meetings day. Friday is admin and wrap-up day. Something like that.
So you minimize context switching across the whole day. Creates deeper focus within that theme.
Exactly. Better flow, less mental gear shifting. Tip 2, use the first thing rule.
Tackle the hardest thing first.
Pretty much. Right after your morning routine, maybe a coffee, hit your most important, maybe most challenging block. Your willpower and focus are usually highest then. Knocking it out builds huge momentum.
Avoids procrastinating on the big stuff. I like it. What's tip 3?
Insert buffer blocks, specifically for creativity or ideas. You know how random ideas pop into your head?
All the time, usually when I'm trying to focus on something else.
Right. So schedule a short block, maybe 15 minutes, just for idea capture or a quick brainstorm. Jot down those fleeting thoughts. It stops them cluttering your mind during focus blocks, but ensures they aren't lost.
A dedicated space for the sparks. Cool. Tip 4.
This one's fun. Leverage the revenge of the urgent block.
Revenge of the urgent. Sounds dramatic.
Kind of. Schedule a specific block, maybe late afternoon, like 30, 60 minutes, just for dealing with all those unexpected, urgent, but maybe not truly important things that popped up during the day. Emails, quick requests, small fires.
So instead of letting them derail your planned blocks?
You corral them. You say, okay, I see that request. It goes in the revenge block at 4 p.m. It protects your core work time.
That is brilliant. Containing the chaos. Okay, one more tip.
Tip 5. Establish an end-of-day review ritual. Use that last block we talked about, not just to wrap up tasks, but to actively review. How did the blocks go? What worked? What didn't? And crucially, plan tomorrow's blocks now.
So you hit the ground running tomorrow, already knowing the plan.
See, exactly. It closes the loop and sets you up for success. Seeing what you tangibly achieved also feels really good.
These are great tips. And you mentioned a real-life example, someone who actually used this.
Yeah. Let's talk about Sarah, a freelance designer. Before time blocking, her days were apparently pretty chaotic, checking email constantly, reacting to client pings, designing whenever inspiration struck or panic set in.
Sounds familiar for a lot of freelancers, probably.
Very. So she implemented time blocking. Her day started looking more like morning routine and plant blocks, then a solid chunk for client and design work.
Followed by
a buffer, maybe a quick walk, hydrate. Then a block for client B revisions.
Okay, structured client work.
Then lunch and mental rest, actually stepping away. Afternoon, batch email responses. Then a block for creative exploration, experimenting, playing, no specific client deliverable.
Protecting time for creativity itself. Nice.
Another quick buffer, mindful breathing maybe. And finally, admin and invoicing.
So what was the result for Sarah?
Apparently after just 2 weeks, she reported having way fewer bleh days, feeling unproductive. And maybe more importantly, her clients noticed. She was delivering more consistently, seemed more reliable, satisfaction went up.
That really shows how structure can actually enable creativity and reliability, not stifle it. It's about directing energy.
Precisely. Yeah. So just to quickly recap the core steps again. Identify core tasks, estimate time with buffers, batch similar tasks, match tasks to your energy, schedule breaks, and make it visual on a calendar.
And the key message seems to be commit to it. Try it for a week, even if it feels weird at first.
Right. Trust the structure you build. You start trusting the plan instead of just reacting all day. And that trust itself helps you focus.
Okay, so here's a challenge for everyone listening based on all this. For tomorrow, block out just 3 time blocks. Seriously, put them in your calendar. 1 for a core task, something that really matters, 1 for batching emails or admin, and 1 buffer block for the unexpected.
And then just notice. Notice how it feels to work within those blocks compared to a day where you're just winging it or constantly fighting fires. See what difference that intention makes.
And as you think about applying this, maybe mull over this, what are your 3 most crucial core tasks for tomorrow? How might scheduling dedicated time for them actually feel? Or thinking about your energy, when are you really on? When do you slump? How could you use that knowledge, maybe even build in that revenge of the urgent block to protect your best hours? Just some food for thought.
Definitely something to chew on. And join us next time for another deep dive where we'll be getting into the 2-minute rule and how tiny habits can build massive momentum.
Thank you for listening to Focus Fuel. For more productivity hacks, subscribe to our free weekly newsletter, link in bio.